The NCAA Lacrosse quarterfinals did not disappoint. From modern-day shootout games to vintage cage match style lacrosse, last weekend had everything. Every game could have gone either way, but now we're left with 4 teams playing this Saturday. With Cornell playing Penn State and Maryland playing Syracuse, we can expect some historic games. In this video, I'll give you a recap of last weekend and some preview of our Final Four matchups. Let's get into it. There were 93 shots at the end of this game. That's insane, but it wasn't unexpected. Both of these teams are offensive powerhouses and have weapons all over the field. On Princeton's side, Chad Palumbo dominated with 6 goals and 2 assists. He was bully dodging the whole game and it felt like Syracuse barely slid to him. Next weekend, Syracuse has to find an answer to players and dodges like that. I'm thinking about Spanos specifically bully dodging on this Cuse defense, much like Palumbo did. But I'm more worried about the Syracuse defense as a whole. They've had a good season, but this game has a lot of alarming plays. Take this goal by Burns where the 2-slide is nowhere in sight after a simple alley dodge. Or take this alley dodge where a slide doesn't even think about going. Or this goal by Palumbo where the D-mid completely falls asleep, giving him open hands and he can walk through the defense unscathed. It's not so much the one-on-one defense that this unit is struggling in, it's the team defense. Still, they've had a lot of positive moments this season. They held both Notre Dame and Duke to below 10 goals. There's no doubt that they have weapons like Billy Dwan and Riley Figueres, but if they want to win against Maryland, they have to clean up the mental mistakes. Syracuse's offense is deadly efficient. They have weapons all over the field to make it a pick-your-poison situation for opposing defenses. The obvious star is Joey Spallina, who racked up 4 goals and 4 assists in this quarterfinal matchup. We saw a different version of him this Saturday, which is encouraging for Cuse fans. Take this clip of Spallina on the wing where he easily takes the top side on this sweep for the goal. This open space dodging style is not a common staple in his game. Or take this goal where Spallina outruns Molshine at X to get free hands for the shot. This is so important because Syracuse will have to win one-on-one matchups on Saturday. Maryland's defense rarely slides and almost never switches on picks. That means plays like this, where Spallina can draw 2 off a pick, won't happen this weekend. Cuse attackmen and middies will have to step up in their one-on-one game. Specifically, I'm thinking of Sam English and Luke Roa need to have big games. They stand out as 2 players who can beat their matchups and score for themselves. If they can isolate Maryland D-mids up top, I'm sure they'll see success. The main idea is Cuse will have to play a little differently than they normally do. Being a little more selfish will be a good thing for this squad against Maryland. It all comes down to the one-on-one matchups. I can't end this section without mentioning guys like Michael Leo and Owen Hiltz who pieced apart the Princeton defense. It was good to see Leo specifically scoring from the outside. That range is going to be crucial against Maryland. Before we go into the Maryland-Georgetown game, I want to let you know we're having a 20% off sale of the G League Blueprint in celebration of Memorial Day. The G League Blueprint is a weekly lacrosse training plan with everything you need from agility, shooting, lifting, and conditioning all formatted so you can train just like a D1 player. Click the link in the description to download the G League Blueprint at 20% off this weekend. Opening the weekend up with this game was a treat for lacrosse fans. There's a lot to unpack, but I want to talk about Cornell in transition. This team's so efficient in between the lines, it convinces me they're going to win the national championship without a question. Take a look at this ride from Long and Goldstein. Goldstein's just harassing this pole and snatches the GB away without a second thought. Or look at this clip. 2 minutes left, game's on the line, Richmond's clearing the ball to get one of their last possessions. Cornell has their defense drop back to stop any sort of transition, which should make this an easy clear. That would be without CJ Kurse in the game, who after falling a step behind his man, sprints for his life to keep up and somehow tips this ball for the turnover. That play won Cornell the game. This is also a good moment to mention that Kurse had 10 ground balls and 3 caused turnovers as an attackman. Those numbers would be fitting for a defensive player of the game performance. But what's even more impressive than the Cornell's ride is their transition offense. Every time Cornell makes a stop, they're up and out. The best part of this is it's not their middies, it's their poles. They will have 2 or even 3 poles streaking down the field in the fast break. Take a look at this clip where Staub picks up the ground ball and immediately has his head up, hitting Dooley in stride. Dooley draws one and then dumps it to Gil Martin, who slings it to Schwartz for the lefty shot on the crease. That's pole to D-mid to pole. Cornell's poles just have a different level of stick skills. Cornell also took home the ground ball battle with it being 51-27 in their favor. It's plays like this where Davis lays out for the ball at the midline. Then right after, 2 Cornell long poles streak down the field in transition. Staub's following as a trailer and absolutely stings his corner from past 15 yards out. This Cornell defense is truly amazing and they can push transition and have proven to be a lockdown unit. I've somehow gotten this far and not mentioned Ryan Goldstein's performance. The sophomore had an absolute game, finishing with 4 goals and 2 assists. Everything from dodging from himself and backhanded finishes were in play. Yes, this got called back, but the goal mouth is a dumb rule. Him, Michael Long, and CJ Kurse make an extremely strong argument to the best attack line in the country. Long, as always, delivered with his vision this game, tallying 4 assists and made passes like this, piercing apart the Richmond defense. It's sad to see Richmond's run come to an end. They're an amazing team and have one of the best defense in the country. They really did come close in this game, but it was lost in between the lines. They couldn't win ground balls, they lost the face-off battle 10-18, and they couldn't stop Cornell in transition. Most of Richmond's success in this game came from dodging against Cornell's deep mids. They won invert matchups and had a lot of goals across the top and down the alley. This is both a strength of Richmond and a weakness for Cornell. Against Penn State, Cornell has to find an answer to the invert and these isolation dodges, because if Matt Trainer gets a short stick, Cornell is going to be in trouble. This game was an absolute cage match. Two powerhouse defenses going at it in what felt like vintage college lacrosse. The biggest standouts here were the goalies. McNaney went 64% and had what only felt like clean saves into outlets. Moore went 57% and nearly every goal on him was on the doorstep. Neither team could bury any shots from the outside. Defensively, the two highlights were Will Schaller and Ty Banks. Banks handcuffed Spanos to only 2 points and had some insane takeaways like this clip. I was hoping to see Banks play on championship weekend, but he still has a bright future ahead. For Maryland, Will Schaller has emerged as one of the top cover options in the country. He looks like a carbon copy of Zapatello on the field. His patient style and ability to deliver a hit makes him indispensable. He'll most likely take the Spalina cover this Saturday, and I can't wait to watch it. This defense also has an incredible man down, which is massive for playing against a team like Syracuse. Plays like this man down coverage show just how connected this whole Maryland defense really is. Offensively, Maryland was, Maryland. They wound down nearly every shot clock and only took shots they knew they could make. The result was a bunch of doorstep finishes and high angle step down goals. This is in direct contrast to Syracuse, who plays with more creativity and will fire way more shots. Braden Erkson was the main attacking option for this Maryland offense and finished the day with 3 goals and an assist. He was one of the few Maryland players who drove at the cage with intention and was willing to take a hit for the goal. The main concern with this Maryland offense is that they don't have the playmaker. Yes, they have some amazing offensive talent, but we haven't seen anyone take over consistently. But against Syracuse, I don't think this is going to be a problem. Maryland's patient style of wearing down defenses is perfect against a team like Syracuse. We saw Cuse make mental mistakes when tired against Princeton, and Maryland should be aiming to do the exact same thing. But the true talent for this Maryland team is their defense. They're sitting at number 2 in the country for defensive ratings, allowing only 7.93 goals a game while having one of the hardest schedules. If McNaney plays like his normal self, Maryland will be playing on Memorial Day. The problem with Syracuse's offense is they thrive on off-ball opportunities. But when you play a top defense like Maryland that doesn't slide, Syracuse is going to have some serious troubles. Either way, I'm sure this will be a close game, and Maryland's offense is going to have to step up no matter what if they want to win. Matt Trainer willed his Penn State team to championship weekend. They were down by 6 goals in the bottom of the third, and he sparked an 8-goal run to win it. If you want to watch the whole breakdown, I just did a video on this performance, which I'll link above. What I love about Trainer's game is his simplicity. He relies on a quick step and a hammer of an outside shot. The diversity of his goals was also amazing to watch. He used picks, scored off ball, across the top, and even had a diving goal from X. Very few players have a bag that deep. Kyle Lehman and Ethan Long also tallied hat tricks to help Penn State to the win, but the main theme with their offense, much like Maryland, was their patience. They played the shot clocks fully out and attacked when defenses are tired. Take a look at this possession where Penn State is attacking at every angle of the Notre Dame defense, waiting for the best look. They don't take any shots, it's just dodge, pass, and dodge. It's like a death by 1,000 cuts until Lehman gets the ball up top against this D mid. Even after getting initially denied, he redodges and scores because this D mid was so worn down. This is exactly how Penn State will have to play to have a chance against Cornell. They need long possessions that will tire out the defense. More importantly, a tired defense won't push transition, which eliminates Cornell's biggest asset. If Penn State can make a half-field game on Saturday, they have a serious chance of winning. On the Irish side, Kavanaugh and McLean both had hat tricks, but couldn't bring it home. It's a little sad seeing all the Kavanaugh's college careers being over, but it really was a great run. Another player I'll miss watching this season is Sean White on defense. The Irish are losing some big pieces next year, so it'll be interesting to see how the 2026 season goes for them. As for my Cornell-Penn State prediction, I'm gonna have to go with Cornell. They have too many weapons on offense and are so efficient in between the lines to root against them. But I wouldn't count Penn State out. They're the only team that's actually beaten Cornell this season. They just have to make it a half-field game and attack Cornell's D-mids to have a chance. This will be a great championship weekend with both teams delivering memorable performances. Look out for a championship preview video this Sunday after we've seen the semifinals play out. In celebration of championship weekend and Memorial Day, we're having a 25% off sale of the G League Blueprint. If you don't know, the G League Blueprint is a weekly lacrosse training plan with everything you need from agility, shooting, lifting, and conditioning, all formatted so you can train like a D1 player. Click on screen or at the link in the description to download the G League Blueprint at 25% off this weekend. Thank you so much for watching.